Okay, Treaty Land Acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we are signatories of Treaty 5 and that we reside in the traditional territory of the Sichuan Cree Nation. The school district of Mystery Lake is located in the community of Thompson in the province of Manitoba. Manitoba is located on the traditional ancestral territories of the Niuto and Innu Cree, Denisulin, Dene, Métis, Inuit, Asininu, Oji-Cree, Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, and Dakota Oyate, the Dakota Nations. The school district of Mystery Lake remains committed to honoring treaties in the spirit of truth and reconciliation. We are all treaty peoples. Okay, can I have someone move for the approval of the agenda for tonight? Trustee Anderson, seconded by Trustee Lawson. All those in favor, vote aye. Aye. Okay, agenda approved. Adoption of the minutes from last meeting, October 10th, 2023. Can I have someone move that we accept the adoption of the minutes from the last meeting? Trustee Anderson, seconded by Trustee Young. All those in favor, vote aye. 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 All right, excellent. Delegations and presentations. We have a delegation tonight from Artie Parker's music department. Ooh, I know I saw a little write-up. Sure. Rather than have me explain, why don't you folk come up?
For sure. Have a seat. Hi, folks. I'm Kevin Lewis. I'm one of the directors at Artie Parker Collegiate. I a trip that we're hoping to take part in May, our senior music tour. This year we're looking to travel to Minneapolis, Minnesota with our senior band, senior choir, and senior jazz ensembles. Minneapolis is a regular destination for us on our senior tour. We're trying to get back to our old rotation of trips now that the COVID pandemic's hopefully behind us. We have currently 35 students who've committed to traveling down. We'd be looking to depart May 13th, which is a Monday. It'd be a 7-day, 5-school-day trip. They would depart from Thompson, travel down to Winnipeg, where they would take part in some clinics at the University of Manitoba. We then travel down to Grand Forks and eventually to Minneapolis. We would have an opportunity to see some live performances there. We're looking at a performance at the Chanhassen Dinner Theater, which is one of the oldest dinner theaters in North America. They have a presentation that evening, which is the Carole King musical, Beautiful. So we'd see a live performance there. We'd also be looking to travel to the Minnesota Orchestra's performance. They're playing on the Friday night and are performing a night at the movies. They're performing the score live to Star Wars The Last Jedi as the movie's presented on the big screen. And then our group would be looking to go into Valley Fair to take part in their performance in the Parks program. So the groups would have a chance to play in the parks and then spend the day riding the ride, seeing the sights. They'd miss 5 days of school. We're estimating the cost per student to be around $1,000 to $1,150, depending upon student numbers and the U.S.-Canada exchange rate. As I said, we started with a deposit and a commitment where we had 35 students who have so far committed to traveling. We might still see if we can get those numbers up with a few more students, just with some shoulder taps. They were just, the commitments were just due last week. We typically travel to Minneapolis, but we don't normally take part in this performance opportunity. In the past, we've done the Music in the Parks program, but that unfortunately didn't survive COVID. And so Valley Fair is now doing this performance in the parks, which is a slightly lesser experience as there's not a festival there attached to it, but the performance opportunities, and then also some of our clinicking that we'll be doing at the two U of W's, and some of the performances we're hoping will still provide a good educational opportunity for our kids. Just seeking approval in principle to move forward with the planning of it. Any questions?
Any questions?
I saw the Carole King musical and it is fantastic.
The kids don't, I played some of the songs out of Tapestry and they don't know it.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not picking up what you're putting down.
They're not picking up what I'm putting down. I said, tell your moms, they'll love it.
That's just what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. What every teenager likes to hear.
And it's 5 days, right?
It's a 7-day trip, but 5 school days.
Five school, yeah.
10 through 12.
Is this your first, this would be your first one since COVID going out of the country?
We did travel last year to the Contondo Festival in Edmonton. That's not one of our usual trips, but it was the only festival near us that was running last year.
But this is the first out of country?
This would be the first out of country since.
Let's open back to normal.
we were planning May of 2020 to be in Minneapolis to take part in the festival there.
The Valley Fair is huge. It's a blast.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Just a comment, overall, I just wanna say, like, I'm glad to see this back, but the band was a big part of me making it through high school, and we went to Expo '86 and performed there and seen all the stuff, so I mean, I like to see this, and I know what it means to those students, so.
Thanks very much. I bet
Dated
is your
yourself,
photo up on the wall?
1986.
X46, is your photo up on the wall?
Yeah, probably there somewhere, yeah.
I'll have to look for it.
He was the water boy.
Didn't know they had schools in 1986.
Wore the powder blue uniform there when we
Yeah.
performed, so.
I bet you that picture's up on the wall.
Super. Well, any other questions? Great. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming. All right. Do we want to move right to financial statements? Okay, financial statements. Mrs. Manisha Pandya, FCPA, FCA, and Principal of Baker Tilly HMA LLP will present the audit results and the financial statements for the year ending June 30th, 2023. These documents have also been reviewed with the Finance Committee on October 17th, which was this last week, Tuesday, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. As mentioned by the chair, I did go into quite a bit of detail on these financial reports last week with the Finance Committee. Tonight, I plan to do a summary report for you, obviously open to any questions that any of the trustees may have. Included in your package are the audited financial statements for the year ended June 30th, 2023 for the district. There is an unqualified audit opinion on the financial statements, the consolidated financial statements, which will be consolidated into the province of Manitoba's financial statements. We do have an emphasis paragraph this year for the asset retirement obligation, which required us to do a retroactive adjustment. This was a requirement, again, of the province, and it required each of the school districts in the province to go back and evaluate any costs that there may be in terms of asbestos removal in any of your buildings that the district is on the district's books. Our consolidated statements include the operating statement, the capital statements, as well as the special purpose funds. We also are required as part of our engagement to do an enrollment report audit as of September 30th, 2022. This was this past year, we selected Deerwood School as the school that we chose to do our random audit on. We had no issues with that, and we issued an unqualified audit opinion on the enrollment report. We've also provided management with a letter providing any of the recommendations that have come out of our audit. As such, there was no real critical issues that came through as part of our audit, and we found that administration has been keeping up on all aspects of the financial reporting, and we had no recommendations to bring forward at this time. We do have the ones that have been on the audit and the management letter for a few years, and those are regarding the school funds. Just a reminder to all school administrators that the school funds that are maintained do become an integral part of the financial statements, and it's important to have those controls in place. So as your administration is changing in all of your different schools, it's important to, again, stress the importance of having the right controls in place for those funds. Our operating fund surplus this past year was $4.2 million. Of that, we have designated already through board motions $3 million and undesignated $1.6 million. There is a listing of all designated surplus amounts in the financial statements. We had a nominal amount of unadjusted entries at year end, and those again are included in your audit report. Just 2 entries that we came across that were less than $50,000 of unreported amounts. Our consolidated financial at the end of the year saw an increase in financial assets of $3.6 million, and our cash balance increase of $621,000. We did find a total balance at the end of year of $12,285,000. And of that, 5.6 million of that is in high interest savings fund. After year end, we saw 8.25 million transferred into the operating account for cash flow purpose, and then that is quite standard over the year, because we're reporting as of June 30th, and the school district for the schools is shut down for 2 months. We do have some cash flow that grows over that period, and then we do have to draw on it, usually at this time of the year. Overall, our financial liabilities are $31 million at year end. We have an increase of 6.4 million on our financial liabilities. Accounts payable and accrued liabilities increased $1.6 million. We did have a need to venture this year from the provincial government, and we do see borrowings increasing by 4.4 million. Our employee future benefits have been consistently around 5.4 million for both the past 5 years, and they continue to be around that balance again this year. Our tangible capital assets have a net book value at the end of the year at $22 million. We had acquisitions this past year of 3.5 million and amortization of 1.3 million. The capital reserve account, which was set up at $200,000 for the Artie Parker band room, had a slight decrease this year, just about $4,000. And the reserve still sits there to complete the RDPC band room. Overall, our consolidated accumulated surplus at the end of the year, including all tangible capital assets, $13,244,000. Our total revenues were $47 million, similar to the prior year, and total expenses of $48 million, of which the largest expenditures is salaries and benefits. Our net year current deficit for our operating fund was $655,000. We saw an increase in our net debt balance, which totaled $9,141,000. It was an increase of $2.8 million this past year. Our cash flow had an increase of $621,000, and our consolidated accumulated surplus was showing at 10% this year, which is slightly over our 4% limit, which the province has imposed. And again, Kelly has been in touch with the province in terms of that overage. This is not the first year that there has been an overage over the 4%, and I think the province is well aware of that consolidated increase. We did have a change in our notes to financial statements this past year with the asset retirement obligation, and that did, as I mentioned earlier, require a restatement of the prior year. The calculation of the admin costs as a percentage of total expenses for the current year was 3.78%. The prior year was 3.62%, so again, we're in line with the prior year. Our maximum allowed is 4.25%, and we are within our requirement. Included in your consolidated statements are also notes regarding the pension plan, and we did have a surplus in the past year on the pension plan of $5.5 million. Other services provided to the district by us during the past year include the Bill 57 report, which administration has been provided. We did provide an interim audit as of March 31st because the province has a March 31st year end, and they do incorporate the balances at that time into their financial statements. And we've provided management with representation letters and other letters that they have signed and returned to us, just engaging us for this past year. So I'd like to thank, first of all, Kelly, who's here, as well as her finance team for the work that they've done in supporting us in completing the audit. And of course, I'd like to thank the board and management for their commitment to our firm over the past several years. Thank you.
Super, thank you so much.
Are there any questions?
Any questions?
Just, I asked you this the other night in committee,
Yes.
I just wanna do it for a matter of public record, okay? As an independent auditor, do you have any, or see any issues in the budget that concerns you?
No, I do not.
And it's just a statement, I said this in our finance committee, Thompson, not only has to know is gonna miss you up here as an auditor, to show us in the future.
Thank you, Mike.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your service. All right, 6.2.1, next, that was the 6.2.2 also, 6.23, right?
There's a motion on 61.
Oh, we have a motion on that? Okay. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so we have a motion that the Board of Trustees accept the 2022-2023 audited financial statements dated June 30th, 2023 as presented. Trustee Sharker, motions for, to move. Trustee Lawson second. All those in favor vote aye. Aye? Good. All right. Now help me, Kelly. What have we already done here? The auditor's report, a financial statement we just did.
No, all of these, it's just business and service being item 7 now.
Okay, we're on item 7. Okay, good. Okay, business from previous board meeting. MSBA call for nominations and resolutions due November 3rd. Resolutions received on and before Friday, November 3rd, 2023 will be deemed regular resolutions. As described in bylaw 511C, resolutions must take the form of a bylaw amendment, a policy amendment, or a request for action. A bylaw amendment or new bylaw, both regular and emergent resolutions in this category require a minimum of 1 month notice to members. Existing bylaws are available on the website. Policy addition or amendment resolutions in this category seek to amend the association's existing policy statements or create a policy statement in an area not previously addressed. Existing association policies are available on the website. And requests for action. Resolutions in this category are action items that direct the association to do something either directly or through its lobbying efforts. Requests for action should align with existing association policy. Requests for action are time limited to 3 years or the completion of the requested action. So on that topic, are there any nominations or resolutions that we want to do as a board? Nothing in particular on my mind. No?
There's still an opportunity.
Is there an opportunity?
Convention.
Okay, okay. Okay. Superintendent of Educational Services and Programming Report.
I get to go first?
Yeah, I know, I thought so.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go first.
We'd like to shake things up. We're very spontaneous here.
Oh, okay, because you didn't hear from me last.
Oh, because we've been so in anticipation.
Oh, well, duty calls sometimes. So you've received my board report. Everything that I've been up to, over since end of September. So just a few highlights. Cadmus DeLorme was here to do a presentation with staff. Really well received, his message around truth and reconciliation, and, he did it in a way that was not, accusatory, but, you know, we're all in this together. I did receive a lot of feedback from, staff, and one staff member even said that he is one of the best speakers that we've ever had visit the SDML, so, I think that speaks to, you know, it being sent, it's somebody who's been in the district for 30 years, so. And then he spent time with our students and our families, which was a smaller group, but he really, really had a powerful message for the kids. Basically that they're going to be the leaders and that they need to take charge of their lives and, yeah, just not to accept mediocrity. So, and Paul has this recorded and it's almost ready. So it will be available internally as for the district. I talked with Cadmus and he said he does not mind that we share it internally, but it not become public. So we'll soon have a link for all of you folks to view that, and for staff if they want to see it again. And he also said that he was really impressed with the staff in the community and he would like to come back. So he's asked me to reach out to him and invite him back into the community. He is a very, very busy man, so we'll see what we can do for next year. The grade 9 luncheon happened on October 5th. Really good turnout for both staff and students. Most of the students seem to have transitioned to the high school in a good way, and students were treated to a very yummy lunch and some door prizes, so it was well attended. The Elders and Knowledge Keepers proposals, they had to be submitted to the province by the middle of the month, so we were eligible up to $100,000, and we made sure that we put in proposals for $100,000, so I'm just waiting to hear back, but when I talked with the director, she said that her first read that things were in order, so we started to spend our dollars in that. Healthy Schools Summary Report has been submitted. I submitted that last week, so our activities included ribbon skirt teachings, healthy cooking, walking to school promotions, outdoor stencil projects, and Red Cross certification for some of our students at R.D. Parker. The projects must align with the Healthy Schools guidelines. We received just over $10,000 for that. So we have to submit a report in order for us to receive the funds again this year. Last week we had 17 staff members who participated in the Certified WEVIS Facilitators Training, and WEVIS is working effectively with violent and aggressive states. So that was a full week of training, but now we have 17 trainers on our staff, which is awesome, because now we can train our own teachers, our own EAs, and we can also train outside organizations if we're requested to do that. So it was intense, it was time consuming, but it was really well worth the training. So update on the grade 10 provincial assessment. So we had met twice, and the word from the field was that we would really like the province to reconsider either putting them on hold or doing them in a way that they became pilot programs that people would volunteer. So we had until last Friday to put in our request. So we did put in a request. We have 3 teachers who would like to pilot the English language arts exam. So we're just waiting to see if they're going to choose all 3. So we thought it would be a really good idea to have some northern exposure in that process. So one of the good things is it's going to be a central marking, so we'll send all exams down, because that's very time consuming. Grade 12 exam takes about 45 minutes to mark, so I would think that this would be kind of in the same time frame. So we do have an opportunity for teachers to volunteer to go down to do the training and do the central marking, but they'll provide the sub costs if they choose to do so. We've completed the strategic plans. They've been distributed to the trustees. We did have 4 parents, 3 students, 4 teachers, 4 school admin, 4 trustees, 1 senior admin, and 1 family outreach coordinator there. So we had 21 participants. It was over the course of the evening, and I think that there was a lot of value in doing that process. I did include the new plan. It was really important for us to have our strategic plan on a 1-pager. And this is, you know, who we are. It's the very last page. The only thing is now we needed to make a decision between the word empower or ignite. I'm really hoping that the board would like to go with the word ignite, because this is, you know, high-level thinking, and this is what we want. And ignite is a powerful word as opposed to empower. So if the board is okay, I would like to change that to ignite. And then we would have a board motion to pass this as our strategic plan. I have sent this to the principals. As you notice, it says draft, because they needed something in their hands to begin their school plans, because they're due by October 31st.
Any feedback from them on it?
I got a few thumbs up.
Yeah.
People were really pleased to see this. And one of and I shared it with Curriculum Services, and they were really happy to see the 7 teachings to be included in there.
Even though we had to change our stencil.
I know, we have to change it all, but it's okay, we're good for it. It's 4 years, and
I
now
was up
Jell's
there
already.
scraping it with my finger. I don't know how hard that's gonna be.
So we will need a motion to approve this as our strategic plan, and then this will become, who we are. The other thing I forgot to mention is the Success for All is being translated also into Cree and into French.
Yes.
So that
Oh,
will.
good.
Yeah, so we have to add that on,
That was my group's idea.
yes.
I don't wanna play.
Okay, so we still need to do that, but other than that, nothing will change. And I'm getting our Cree coordinator to, do the Cree, and then I have a teacher at, Equal Riverside who's going to do the French for us.
So that motion you need from us, that's on the agenda tonight?
Yes,
Yes, okay.
perfect.
Okay, good.
The other thing that's been going on, so Mama Twist Win is having a very large conference in Winnipeg on November 14th and 15th. It's a combination of the community schools and the Building Student Success with Indigenous Parents, BISSIP. They're expecting 800 participants. We have our curriculum services team who will be going down. We'll have 2 presentations. One will be a presentation on land-based learning. That'll be numeracy and literacy will be doing that, and along with our Cree coordinator. And then we have another presentation, and that'll be our family camps and our summer programming. So that'll be Mike, Lyle, and Laurel will be doing that. So that's going to be happening. There's no cost for registration, and the dollars will come from, there's a BISSIP, part of a BISSIP grant that we can use for the schools, because they send a connector, an admin, and a parent. And then I've talked to the director, we'll be taking the funds for our team to go from the IAA, the AAA grant, and then my cost is covered by the province, so we won't need to worry about my cost. So that's pretty exciting. If any trustees are interested in going, let me know, because I have to have everybody registered by Monday.
When is it, the 25th of this month?
No, November
that's tomorrow.
14th, 15th. So
November-
Tuesday, Wednesday.
November 14th.
Are you in Winnipeg? You can pop in.
Is it in the evening?
It's at, I'll know more, because I'm meeting tomorrow in Winnipeg. We're doing I'm sitting on the organization committee. But,
Let me know the times if I can.
okay, because it's free, I just need to let them know you're coming, right? But 801.
Yeah, I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's a pretty,
They have to find them a
pretty.
chair, they have to get them some bread and some water.
Continuous improvement plans, just waiting for some of the information to come back. I will have them submitted on time to the province for October 31st, and then I will share our plans at the next board meeting, so that you guys have that information. And lastly, I just was asked to give a shout out to MD. MD, you attended a class at Artie Parker, and the teacher wanted you to know that not only was she fascinated, but her students were fascinated at hearing about your profession. They didn't know all the things that fall under public health. And so she just wanted me to say thank you, and she also wanted me to extend an invitation if anybody's interested in going to speak to her LifeWorks class. It's a grade 11
She's a
class.
good-looking professor, I'm around.
Okay.
Well, the professor part, I don't know, good-looking.
Is that Anne's class?
Yeah,
I did 2 classes at the time.
that's what she said. She said you came for 1, but you stayed for 2. They were very thankful that you came.
Did
so.
you show the badge? Did you flash the badge? He has a badge now.
I did a PowerPoint presentation,
Oh, yeah.
I showed him the video.
Did you show a video you shutting down restaurants or something, or?
No,
You
she
shut
said
down
the
the
video,
Boston
and she
Pizza.
said it was very, there's actually, it's like 3 paragraphs that she wrote me about your visit, so a big thank you.
Standards now,
Yeah. You
And
guys better step it up.
if any of the
Everyone
other
else is
I
trustees,
going.
better bring a puppet show or something.
she said if you like your jobs and you would like to share, let
Oh, we
her,
have to like our jobs.
so let me know and I can pass it on. That's my report.
Thank you. Any
Okay.
questions for Lori? Yeah, good.
So just about that $100,000, so it was applied as kind of a district plan, so we would get the whole 100,000 and then every school would have they'd get a chunk of that.
Yeah, they put together, like, divided it up, to $12,000 a school, and they provided a plan, and then I kept a bit of it for here, because the curriculum services will run some different programming too. Yeah.
And just one thing that actually came from a student that was at the strategic plan was we added, with the model, we have the vision and the mission, right?
Mhm.
Where, the success for all, but the vision was actually from a student group, if I remember that correctly. They had some awesome points, and it was great to have the students there. So,
And they weren't shy.
No, not
No,
at
they
all.
were not
Yeah.
shy.
No, they were really engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little Hank. Back when I was a teenager. Okay, Superintendent of Human Resources and Policy Report.
I've provided you with a written report. There's just an overview of some of the meetings and things I've been attending. Just a few of the initiatives that I'm working on presently. Just in the process of researching progressive discipline and administrative procedures that exist within other school divisions and business organizations. It's simply the objective to provide those within supervisory roles within the district with clear guidelines and expectations pertaining to staff progressive discipline. Once this administrative procedure review committee has developed the draft, we will sit with the union representatives from both Manitoba Teacher Society as well as steelworkers, just to kind of review the policy and let them know what the expectations are with regards to some of these guidelines.
do we have anything right now?
Right, well, not formally, no. And I mean, I think just with regards to some of our supervisory roles, we've got a lot of new administrators, all of those things. I think it's probably something that, yeah, needs to be clearly defined and then like a step-by-step process. I mean, many people who get in supervisory roles within a school district do not have an extensive human resources background. You know, many of the people in these roles, especially administrators, they come from the principals or come from teaching background. I mean, teaching for the most part is generally governed by a professional code of conduct. So when it comes to supervising, you know, they're not really quite sure the steps with regards to progressive discipline in some areas, i.e. staff lateness, all of those kind of things. So I think it's just something a tool that will be very useful for them. Leadership intern update. The leadership intern group will be participating in an evening session facilitated by Bonnie Rempel on November 8th from approximately 5 to 7 p.m. The session topic will be a review of the guidelines for conducting threat assessments within the school system. So that's all I have. Any questions?
That's interesting. Any questions before we move on? Super. Okay, Secretary Treasurer's report.
Circulated in your board package, the expenditures year-to-date, the financial report as of October 18th, 2023, and we're 15.8% through the school year, and our expenses year-to-date are 16.6%, for a total of $7,683,825. We also have the financial dashboard. We now have our audited opening balance of our operating surplus, $1,681,550. At June 30th, we are projecting at this time to be $1,621,550, which is well below our allowed limit of $1.86 million. Year-to-date spend on our breakfast and snack programs at this time is $13,654, 8.8%. So that's all I have at this time.
Any questions for Secretary Treasurer? All right, moving on. 11, new business. 11.1, student travel. For the 2023-2024 school year, the Board of Trustees will only receive requests for student travel within Canada and the United States. Recommendation that the Board of Trustees for the duration of the 23-24 school year only receive requests for student travel within Canada and the United States. Can I have someone move that we?
Actually, I'm gonna call for a recorded vote.
Sure. Move. Second, Trustee Young. Okay, this is new recorded vote. Do we just go one by one?
If you want discussion on the motion.
Okay. Do we want to so discuss? Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I think this conversation came from the current affairs that are happening overseas, and I think for myself, it's to make sure that our staff and students and parents and people who go on these trips are safe, and that until we'll reevaluate at the end of this year, but to really give our senior admin a motion that they can just get behind, and that will, really keep our kids safe. So that was my take on it, anyways.
They want to refer this motion to the next board meeting, because we have two board members absent today, so I want to.
You want to table it? Okay, trustee.
I agree with Andy on tabling it for the next meeting, so we can have more control, or more trustees. I am in agreement with it, just because we're seeing what's happening outside of our borders, like, not just what's going on between Russia and Ukraine, but now we have the Gaza and Israeli thing, and the Canadians trapped all over the place. I think it's in the best interest, in my opinion. But I do agree with Andy that we should have maybe a complete board to vote on it.
Trustee Anderson?
I'm not in agreement with it because we have a very extensive policy saying that no one can even come to the board if location that they want to go to is recommended not to travel. So this is just superseding a policy that we already have, and if we just follow the policy, we wouldn't need this.
Okay. Shall we would have to someone move to accept that we won't table it? Do you want to so move? Someone second that we table it? Yes. Trustee Young, all those in favor to table? Okay. MD? Seconded by Trustee Young, that we table for next. Okay, sounds good. I would like to know the input of the other two trustees. That makes good sense. Okay, Artie Parker Senior Music Tour. The Artie Parker Senior Music Ensemble, grades 10 through 12, to travel to Minneapolis, Minnesota during the period May 13th to May 19th, 2024. The trip would involve music clinics, attending various professional performances, as well as performing their own pieces at several venues. Recommendation that the Board of Trustees approve the May 2024 Artie Parker Senior Music Ensemble trip to Minneapolis. Now, because this is out of country, do we want to wait? But he needs to know sooner than later, right? It should be, because, we talked last week, said Continental is okay.
The motion you just tabled is speaking within Canada and
United States. The motion we tabled speak to just Canada and the United States.
Travel within the States and Canada. It's international travel that we're.
That's right. Okay, good, okay. Okay, can I have someone move that we accept the motion then? Trustee Anderson? Can I have a seconder? Trustee Sharker? All those in favor, vote aye? Okay, passed. Procedural Bylaw 0224, second reading. The procedural bylaw establishes rules of procedure for the guidance of the school board and conduct of its meetings. 3 readings are required for substantive bylaw revision. Section 11, standing committees, has been reviewed by the committee. The document has been circulated with the proposed changes identified under item 1, general procedures G. This bylaw update was given first reading October 10th, 2023. Policy Committee recommendation that procedural bylaw 0224 be given second reading for the addition to section 11, standing committees item 1, general procedures G. Can I have someone move that we accept that motion? Trustee Young, seconder. Trustee Lawson, all those in favor vote aye? Aye. Okay, ayes have it. Procedural bylaw 0224, third reading. The procedural bylaw established, okay, we've already read that. Policy Committee recommendation that procedural bylaw 0224 be given third and final reading for the addition to section 11 standing committees, item 1, general procedures G. Can I have someone move that we accept? Trustee Young, a seconder? Trustee Sharker, all those in favor vote aye? Aye. Ayes have it. All right, trustee indemnity bylaw 0324, first reading. A lot of reading tonight. I should have taken my Sanya. Whereas section 56, 1 to 3 of the Public Schools Act provides that a school board may, by bylaw, pay an annual and additional indemnity to the chairperson to each trustee and reimburse its trustees, trustees-elect, or employees for expenses necessarily incurred while attending conventions or carrying out duties assigned or approved by the school board, and at such rates and under such conditions as the board may determine. 3 readings are required for the bylaw. The Finance Committee recommendation is that the trustee indemnity bylaw 0324 be read for the first time. Can I have a mover move that? Trustee Lawson, seconder? Trustee Young, all those in favor vote aye? Aye. All right, moving to SDML Strategic Plan 2023-2027. All right, we have here several elements for the strategic plan. Our vision: every student matters, every moment counts, for the learners of today to be the leaders of tomorrow. Our mission statement: the School District of Mystery Lake will ignite?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The School District of Mystery Lake will ignite each learner's potential in a safe and inclusive environment that nurtures, celebrates, and inspires lifelong learning through a diversity of educational experiences. Our values: respect, courage, humility, wisdom, honesty, truth, love. And those that conform with the 7 teachings? Okay. Our beliefs: individuals have the right to access quality education in a safe and equitable manner that maximizes individual potential. Learning is a holistic, lifelong pursuit that enhances the mind, body, and spirit. Everyone is on a cultural proficiency journey that promotes respect and inclusion. The school district is committed to truth and reconciliation and its responsibility to take action. Learning experiences must nourish a sense of wonder, curiosity, and imagination in students. Public education promotes the common good for all citizens. Communication and engagement with all education partners and community are essential. Oh, John Dewey would be very happy with this. Practices must be linked to research, evidence, and reflection. Our priorities: Goal 1, by June 2025, the students will increase critical literacy and numeracy achievement through the development of comprehensive communication and problem-solving skills. Goal 2, by June 2025, there will be an increase in graduation rates. Goal 3, by June 2025, students will have confidence in their employment skills, knowledge of available opportunities for them, and how to pursue career goals. Goal 4, by June 2025, there will be an increase in the numbers of students who report a strong sense of safety, belonging, and positive mental health. Goal 5, by June 2025, there will be an increase in student attendance rates. Recommendation is that the board accept that the 2023 to 2027 strategic plan for the school district of Mystery Lake be approved. That is a bounty of very noble sentiments. Well, yes, well written. Kudos to the ones who came up with this. Moved by Trustee Anderson. Trustee Shark, go ahead.
So on tables,
You need a seconder before the.
We'll have a second first, and then we'll discuss.
Are you seconding it? I'll second.
Second, Trustee Lawson. Okay, discussion.
so in the meaning of humility and truth, how much will it raise?
Humility in this sense is that a lot of students braggy, they're humble. You can recognize when you need to take a step back when you're working with people. It's one of the 7 teachings. And it's a hard one. It's a hard one for people to learn to be humble.
And not common in many other things that I've seen. Like in terms of
So your
values.
question, MD, is your question about the definition of it, or just about the propriety of it?
So the truth is, and it's represented by the, is it the Toro Wasabi?
You can search, I search right now.
Yeah, okay.
You can search the Google.
Yeah,
I don't want to put too meaningful.
yeah. Humility and truth, I don't see as the same thing.
Neither do I.
No.
Yeah.
Humility is like a self-effacing, like being modest, whereas truth is about being truthful.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I don't see so much. Trustee Lawson?
Yeah, I think it's a great document. Again, all did a great job. With the priorities, I have no issue with the priorities. It's just rather how we're going to monitor it or rate it. So with goal 3, just having confidence in their employment skills, just how we're gonna monitor that, and then with goal 4 regarding mental health, we just did that amazing report survey with our students. Is that where we would get most of that data for that priority?
So back to number, the skills, knowledge of available opportunities. So that'll be part of the school's career planning. So all our grade 8s do the career cruising. So they're ready to choose their courses for grade 9, but we're gonna have different check-ins. And that was the other, like, okay, so we need to identify how we're going to know that we're increasing. The increase in number of students report a strong sense of safety. That is our youth behavior survey. But there's also different check-ins that schools can do with the different programs. Like some are doing EduCom, like the different things that they do in their schools. They'll be able to show if there's improvement. We have the junior high mental health and wellness fair. So kids will be able to do some check-ins there. So it's gonna have to come from different strategies.
The confidence and the employment skills, like they have, Artie Parker's had that career fair a couple times, and I know those kids fill out exit slips.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you could calculate, I know there were kids that actually got job opportunities as a result of, so
Yeah.
things like that.
We need to be mindful of them now in our plans so that we're reporting back on them.
You, did you get, yeah.
Little boy, did you get a job?
The result of
Okay.
Good. It's good. Any other discussion? Yep.
So can we make our priorities specific, like will we increase the graduation rate? If we can put the rate, the specific rate, can we?
So I had thought about really hard, like we could just say, well, we want to increase them by 5%, we want to increase them by 10%, but I think for us, it's knowing where we are and that we're always seeing an increase. I don't know if there's value in putting numbers to that, but we are seeing the steady trend because we have the provincial rate and then we have our school rate that we calculate ourselves, because we have the 2 different ways of calculating. So I think that the goal is when we're showing the data, so this year you're gonna see Artie Parker, it was 64%. When we look at our mature students, our 4, 5, 6-year graduation rates. So next year, we wanna see it being more than 64. It would be great to see it at 74, but as long as we're seeing an increase in it. Because the variables change all the time, so it's hard for us to say, well, okay, we're here now, we're gonna go 10%. So as long as we're always seeing an increase and we're always being mindful that we need to increase our graduation rates. Yeah.
Since the sales increase, so this is. We have to specific.
And we're seeing that, so your monthly, our attendance rates, and then you see our year-over-year rate in our, and I didn't break that.
No, this.
Yes, so we do show our attendance rates. So to put a number is really hard, but if we're always showing that there is an increase. So when I do the summer report increase of, and when I do the continuous improvement plan at the next meeting, you'll be able to see where the improvements are.
Did the province release the province average attendance rate, graduation rate, so that we can compare?
I have the data. I do carry that over year, so I have probably the last 5, well, I have more than that, but looking at 5 years is probably enough for us.
And don't think if you were,
Above or the below?
For attendance?
Attendance.
Attendance will be the same.
Almost
It's, our attendance is what we send to the province, so there's not gonna be any difference in the rate. Our graduation is different though, because graduation, they look at the numbers going into grade 9 and they look at the number 4 years later. They don't look at any other information, so, yeah.
So were you asking the question, are we above or below the provincial average with regards to attendance?
We're below.
We're below.
It's 90% is the target. Last year we were, I think, was it 84%? It's in there. I think it's 84.5%. So we do have that. And I think it's probably better instead of us putting a number that I'm just always reporting that so that you verbally know. And it's in the continuous improvement.
So when students are starting to the music tours, so do you consider them as a present or absent?
An absence is an absence, but it's an excused absence as opposed to unexcused absence.
And a school-related excused absence.
Yeah,
There's-
but
there's-
they're still not in class.
They're still not in class, they're still absent from school.
Yeah.
And we have to record it that way, like in the system, we need to know if, if there's a fire or who's in the building, and if we just because they're on a school trip, we're gonna mark them present. They're technically not physically in the building.
It's provincial guidelines we have to
Yeah.
follow.
Yeah.
Just speaking to the vagueness, and I think that's the role of the board, is to provide a base, right, of our priority. Our schools might have, like our Deerwood might have, they want to see their attendance go up by
5%.
5%.
A metric.
Yes.
So if we have a board directive of we want to say 15, it doesn't coincide with what their goals are. So I think, again, just the mindset of our role is to provide a generalization of what we want to see in the district, not to get into specifics.
And schools probably will get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Any more discussion before we vote? So is your concern about the humility, you're good with that? Okay. Can I have a vote? We have a seconder, right? So all those in favor to accept? Ayes? Okay, ayes have it. All right, correspondence. 12.1, Manitoba School Boards Association. There's some correspondence there, an e-bulletin for October 11th for your perusal. Yes, go ahead.
Would you just like to mention your committee that you're on with MSBA?
I hope not too humility for that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm asking you to.
We have too much.
It's the northern representation.
Yeah, so regarding the Manitoba School Boards Association, this past Friday, the provincial executive did meet, and the position of committee member for the Resolutions and Policy Committee came up. I had put my name in, I think over the summer, and I said that I sold myself as a Thompson resident. I said it would not hurt representation for the North if I was on the committee. And they accepted that logic, so I am now a standing member of the Policy Resolutions Committee for the MSBA. So they meet about 3 times a year. They meet at the 2 conventions, so in November and in March, and then they meet once in between. The 2 will be in person because I'll go down for the general meeting in the convention. The 3rd time I'll be on the Zoom. They're not gonna fly me in for that. Yeah. So that will be good. It will be, the typical makeup is a few of the executive members, this president, the past president, and then they have a few from the province. Yeah. So I think I have to read the terms of reference, but I think there's about 6 of us. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see from that. Yeah, thank you. Okay, committee reports, policy committee.
Since last board meeting, we scheduled for a meeting the next October 30. Yes? Correct.
Education and programming committee.
He's not here.
Next meeting is November 28th.
Public relations committee.
Show's not here.
October 30th, our next meeting.
October 30th. I don't think there's been a lot of meetings in the last week, was there?
No.
Finance and property
Yeah,
committee.
speak for yourself.
Except for you folks.
Yeah, even last Tuesday, we had Manish Pandya there to dive into our financials and conversation and reporting. We looked again into our trustee indemnity that we presented here tonight. And just like Manisha, I'd like to just extend a thank you to our financial department for the work put into the financial plan, or financial statements. I know this year was a little bit more challenging than years past, so yeah, thank you to Kelly and your team.
Super. Any other committees we have to report? Okay, trustee comments. Empty.
Nothing from this committee, but I would like to congratulate all the participants who put their input in our board priority meetings. Congratulations.
Thank you, Rabat, for being here. This will be my last meeting in person. I'm down in Winnipeg for school. I'll be back mid-January.
Were you there over Christmas?
I'll be in Hawaii for Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah, it's because they break for Christmas, it's 11 weeks versus 9. So, but I am planning to attend either by teleconference or Zoom. So.
I wasn't here last meeting, so this was the comment that we had the last meeting. I just want to say that I felt that when our new Premier Bob Canoe took his acceptance speech, I appreciated him talking directly to the young people, stating you need to be better you if you want to get ahead in life. I thought that was kind of a powerful moment for him. And I hope it goes ahead, not being political in any way. I just like to want to say I want to acknowledge that statement.
It was a good first speech. Trustee?
Yeah. Juniper and Westwood School did a walk for Wajax. It's honoring the legacy of Gord Downey. I just wanted to do a shout out to both those schools for doing that. It's something they did on their own, and all the school participated in both events at both schools. Yeah.
Super. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Do we have any questions from the public? No, we give you all of that display and you have no questions? Okay, wonderful. Before we move into camera for the second session, we want to take a 5-minute break? Or you want to go right in? I mean, look at our time, we're doing pretty good. We need a motion? A motion to move into camera? Okay, in 5 minutes. Okay, seconder? Trustee Young? All those in favor?